afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? I am so glad to be with you today for the second part of our 3-day masterclass, your 3 C's for bringing in 6 figures this year. And I'm really happy. I've been wearing my flowers the last couple of days because today is May Day. And it really is signaling the time where all those April showers that we have endured really bring in the May flowers that we adore. So I am really, really happy today. And I'm hoping everybody that's joining me today is feeling that kind of contagious energy. Today, where I am, it's supposed to be raining all day. Guess what? Turned out to be sunny all day. So I am really happy about that as well. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And what I'd like to do to get us started is to give us a little blessing. So here we go. And what I'm doing right now, which you may not be able to see, is I want to give us like a little fire energy today, because we're talking about the heart and a courage today. So I want to give us just a little bit of a blessing, a cleansing for May 1st, the start of a new month, the start of a new vibration, the start of a new energy coming in, and the energy of growth, of creation. And since it's May, let's talk about things in a little bit of a blessing way, and say that may all of the gates and pathways and waterways and any ley lines of our dream world and our everyday world converge together to bring you whatever you truly desire during this month of May. And I thank you. And I have to say, this just is a kind of a convergence for me because, I had the retreat last month, and now it's last month. These mugwort sticks were supposed to be part of the what I could like to call the prize package or the merge bag for our retreat. When we held the retreat, we put in our goodie bag. Oh, there we go. Goodie bag's another term for it. Our goodie bag, everything that people would need, including crystals and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into too much of what was in there, but everything people would need to participate in our ceremonies was in the bags. The only thing people really needed was like their own journal and pen, and we might even get us some pens later. I don't know. But we really provided all of that. And it was very important to us to want to make sure that everybody kind of has equal footing when they come to a retreat, that some people don't have like a whole bunch of stuff and other people are like, we want everyone to be free to participate. So you may see some mugwort sticks at the next festival. Anyway, at the next retreat. All right, so let's move on to what we are covering today. And we'll start with a recap of what we did yesterday. And yesterday we talked about the idea of these 3 C's that we want to talk about. The 3 C's you need for your business success, especially in a spiritual business, are clarity, courage, and confidence. And we likened those 3 aspects to being the Dorothy on our own road to the Wizard of Oz, or to the Land of Oz. And along that road, we have 3 companions. We have our third eye, our heart, and our gut. Okay, and that really is where we have our sacral and our solar plexus energies merged together within our body, okay, to help us create confidence. So I'm sorry, I'm getting a message here. What we really want to be able to do is to activate all three of those most intuitive centers in our bodies in order to create our lives and our businesses in ways that really benefit us the most and give us the most satisfaction and make us happy, because that's really what we're here for on this planet. You know, we are here to serve, but we're supposed to be serving joyfully. And if we can't find joy in what we're doing, then we need to reevaluate where we are. And I think that's one of the reasons why we find so many women now who are feeling as if they are having that kind of midlife awakening and recognizing that the way they have been doing things is not necessarily the way that they need to be doing things. And that the purpose or the focus of their life may have been other people before, but now it's turning inward to recognizing that the best way to be of service to somebody else is to be of service to yourself first. The best way to love someone else is to love yourself first. The best way to care for someone is to care for yourself first, because you can't give someone more than what you already have experienced for yourself. And this is why we also have the paradigm of the wounded healer, because how do you become a healer and know how to heal, know what that really means, and know what it takes if you yourself have never, ever experienced the need for healing? Or at least not in a profound enough way that this has really become a calling in your life, right? So today, what I'd like to focus on is our heart center. And even though we call it the heart center consists both of the heart, the front-facing part of our center, but also the lungs, which is the back of our center. So as we see it, the front side is always the masculine, front-facing, ego-driven side. The back is the feminine, lunar side, okay, which is kind of hidden. That's when we talk about our depths and our shadows. This is the side that we're talking about. And so we want to use both of these sides to come together and to help us create our own courage. And when I say create our own courage, I mean that, you know, we would like to think that courage is something innate to most humans, that given certain circumstances, that everybody would rise to the occasion of doing the thing that is, you know, brave and dangerous and exciting. We like to think that, okay? But the truth of the matter is that our brain is wired not to step into the fray, but to step back from the fray, okay? The only time we really get our fight or flight, I'm sorry, guys, our fight or flight instinct, where we actually fight, is when we know we are too close to the problem to actually just run away, or to actually just freeze someplace and say, okay, I'm not dealing with that, right? So we have to admit to ourselves that courage takes creation. We have to create the space for courage in our lives. And we have to nurture that space so that when it comes time to do the uncomfortable thing, when it comes time to stepping out of our comfort zone, when it comes time to doing, you know, just get up off your butt and do what you're supposed to be doing, we have to cultivate that. It is not necessarily something that is natural to everybody, okay? It may not be natural to ourselves, okay? And there's an author, Rollo May, who had a beautiful book titled The Courage to Create, which I read a million years ago. And if you ask me what was in that book, I could not tell you to save my life. But the title of it itself is the thing that I was most drawn to, okay? Because we are all here as creators of our lives, our businesses, our experiences. And so we are all creators, the same way that that when we look at Divine Mother or the Divine Feminine as the creator aspect of our universe, okay, we are all here to follow in her footsteps and to create. So we do need this courage in order to step out into the world and to do the things that we know that we would like to do and to create for ourselves in our lives, to have in our lives. And so it's of the utmost importance that we do cultivate it, because you can have all the clarity in the world. You can know exactly what you would like to do. You can know exactly how it feels, like we did the exercise yesterday. You can know exactly how it would feel in your heart if you did the thing that you want to do. And you can still not do it. You can still hang back. You can still be in your head too much. You can still worry. You can still have your feet stuck like in mud, unable to move and be too earthbound about what you're doing. And even if you know just how wonderful it would be to have in your life the things that you desire, even if you know that, you can still not act. And so if we want to be the people that we are put here to be, we have to cultivate this energy within our body, this courage to create. And we do that starting in the front of the heart, and then we're going to move a little bit to the back of the heart. Okay? So if we're ready, let's take a deep breath. And one more. And one final breath. And so now we want to focus on our actual heart, that you might be able to feel beating and pumping blood throughout your entire body. And you may be able to feel that or imagine that you feel that. And so take a moment to feel into the energy and the vibration of your actual physical heart. And as you breathe in and out, try to relax into the beat of your breath, the beat of your heart. And as you do so, feel a faint green glow forming at the center of your heart. And allow it to come into formation as if it were the petal or the bud of your favorite flower. So my favorite flower are roses. So I'm imagining a beautiful rosebud forming at the center of my heart. And I can see it continuing to open, to expand, to fill with love, to fill with the feeling of relationship and joy and happiness. And as it continues to open and become a beautiful, beautiful flower, and it can be a flower of any color, and as it opens to its fullest capacity, I want to place at the center my beautiful dream for my business, and to feel it absorb all of this beautiful glowing heart energy, and to imbue it with all of the energy that I hold here. All the love, all the caring, all the joy, all the compassion I can feel for the dream I have of my own life. But the one thing I don't want to do is to harden up my idea, to start to feel protective of that dream in a way that makes my heart feel hardened. I want to maintain that open and expansive energy toward my own dreams and goals, to my own purpose and my own mission. I want it to stay open and just feel soft and loved and cared for and protected, but in a gentle way as if the gentle hand of Divine Mother were stroking that dream for me. Because the truth of the matter is that we do not gain strength from hardening our hearts, but from allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and yet proceed anyway. We have to open our hearts up to whatever it is that we desire to create and keep it open, keep it flowing, keep the love flowing, keep the joy flowing, and not want to protect it in a hard way from anything that might come from the outside. But once you keep loving on yourself and on your dreams, this is what makes you stronger. This is what gives you courage. Because that's the truth of the matter, is the only true courage is through vulnerability. And so just allow this beautiful flower you've created to close over very gently, very lovingly over this dream you hold for yourself. And recognize that whatever it is that you wish to create in your life is possible. And just take a moment to feel that flower of your heart just come back into your chest. And just to sit for a moment and to love on that dream and to love on yourself for a minute. Whew. Okay, so now the next thing that we want to talk about a little bit, and I'm trying to see why I'm getting comments on the video, but I am not able to see them. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. But I guess I will figure that out for next time. So what I want to talk about next is the back of the heart, which is the feminine side, which is the lungs. And the lungs naturally hold the vibration of sorrow. That's their natural vibration. And so when we think about our lives and our businesses, do we want to think about them in terms of sorrow and what we don't have, and what we may feel lacking in, or what we may feel does not support us? Absolutely not. And so it's so important to release these feelings of lack, of doubt, of self-doubt that can congregate here in the lungs. And how we do that is through affirmations and intentions. Okay. Now, we may think of, or we may concentrate too much on what we're thinking about when we are dealing with what we would like to create for ourselves, right? We get that clarity, and that's what we focus on. This is our vision, and this is what we're looking at. And then when we get a thought, a negative mindset, what do? We're like, but my mind is telling me I can't do it. But my mind is telling me that this may be too much. But my mind is telling me, and we have to do something that will break up the energy of all of that negative mind talk. And to some degree, I think it was Einstein who said, you cannot solve a problem from the same level in which it was created. You can't solve a mindset problem on a mindset level. At least I don't think so. So what do? Then we get not our mindset, but our heart set, right? And in that heart center, we have the lungs, which breathe life into whatever we want to create. Okay? That's the whole thing with affirmations and intentions. And an affirmation really is just an intention spoken out loud that carries extra weight because it is spoken out loud. So when we set our intentions, and I would like this to be our exercise for today, is to set some intentions for ourselves when it comes to bringing in uh, what we desire. So, for example, I think we've all heard the kind of mantra, money comes to me easily, money comes to me fast. I don't particularly care for that, but um, when you create an affirmation for yourself and an intention for yourself, this becomes where your energy is focused. And that's really the idea of creating an affirmation or an intention. Where do you want your energy to flow? And that's why when our mind starts to tell us negative stuff, we don't want to pay attention to that. Okay? Because it's not real. The things that you think about, they're not real. They're just thoughts. Okay? Reality is reality. The things that actually happen are reality, not what your mind can cook up, all the different scenarios where things may not go right, or the scenarios where, oh my God, I did the wrong thing, or, whatever. That's not real. So you need something else to counteract those things that your mind is telling you. And you do that by, when you hear something negative in your mind, you want to vocalize something positive from your heart center to counteract that, and to give yourself courage, and to give yourself a means of combating all of that noise that can be in your head. And speaking as a writer, I know about all that noise in the head. And, we used, way back in the days when I was really publishing, we used to call that the internal editor. Now, most writers have a love-hate relationship with their editors. They love all of the ideas and suggestions and ways to improve that the editor will come up with. But by the same token, we don't necessarily want to hear all the critique. We want it to be wonderful and perfect, right? But when you have the internal editor, it's you critiquing yourself. And guess what? We're not always kind to ourselves. More often than not, we are the harshest critics of our own work, our own lives, our own paths, our own mission. We will look at somebody else outside of ourselves who wants to do the same damn thing we want to do and say, wow, she should go do that. And when it comes to ourselves, we're like, can I do that? Can I do this thing that I want to do? And so the thing that we really want to tamp down on is that idea that we should allow ourselves or anyone else to speak such negativity about ourselves. Now, I'm the first person to say I can't stand toxic positivity, like positive vibes only. If you don't have something nice to say, go somewhere else. I really believe that there is room for honest talk, for honest appraisal. But when you're getting to the point where you're allowing the fear brain to talk yourself down out of doing whatever beautiful thing that it is you're supposed to be doing, that's where we really need to countermand it. And so the homework that I want to give you for tonight is to think about the 3 worst things you have ever said to yourself about yourself and your ability to create the spiritual business and the spiritual life that you want for yourself. And I bet you, I'm kind of getting emotional here, because I bet you they are the 3 worst things that have ever been said about you. So think about those 3 worst things. And then I want you to think about 3 different affirmations you can make about yourself for each one of them. So for example, suppose you keep telling yourself, I will never have the business that I want. Why not tell yourself, I can create the business that I want easily and lovingly? and continue to see. I made myself all emotional here. Let me get my tissue. Anyway, so tell yourself something beautiful about yourself. Tell yourself something loving about yourself for each of those three things. And then start to think about what are your true intentions for yourself and for your life. Okay? Not what, sometimes we get into phases where it's popular to want to do this, it's popular to want to do that. It's popular to do mindset work, or now it's popular everybody's got to be a coach, or it's popular everybody's got to do a particular thing. And it may be the current rage. And so that may make it seem like really, really desirable for you to kind of hop on the bandwagon. But is that really what you want? Because isn't that just doing what you were doing before? Paying attention to what everybody else said you should do, rather than becoming that head goddess in charge of your own life, where you don't have to kowtow to what's popular, what other people think, how other people tell you to be, and that you have the strength, the courage, the wisdom to stand on your own and know exactly what's right and wrong for you and live accordingly. Because that's the ultimate goal here when you are creating your life and your business, is to be able to stand on your own. Not to say stand by yourself, now that's different, but to stand on your own and be the person that you were meant to be, the person you came here to be, the person you deserve to be, and have the life that you desire. So this is what we really want to focus on when we're getting into talking about intentions and affirmations. And then once you start to form those intentions for yourself, you can create another set of affirmations for yourself that have strictly to do not with what your negative mind is telling you, but what your positive heart is putting forward for you. And you can confidently state those intentions for yourself. This is what I intend for me, not because anybody else told me to do it, not because it's the fad, not because, it just seems like the right thing to do at the time and I don't know what to do with myself, but because this is the true you, that true authentic self that we are all looking for. And I think that is a fad right now, but it's because, people are tired of not being able to be who they are, of being quiet when they want to be loud, of being, pushed to the side when they want to step forward. People are tired of that. And they really want to come forward and be who they are and reclaim those parts of themselves that may have been lost, stolen, or strayed because they were not accepted. We didn't even accept ourselves. So how could those parts of us feel welcome within us? And it's time to reclaim all that. It's time to reclaim who we were. And so I hope that this can be a little bit helpful for you today. Okay. What I really want to get to tomorrow, and I think this is going to be our longest session, is talking about what does that authentic self look like? Who is that authentic self? Where do we find her? Because she's not hither and yon and everywhere, but she's deep within us. And if we really want to have this beautiful life that we dream about, then we need to embrace her, to re-embrace her. Because I think a lot of times the reason why we have this midlife awakening is because we feel her calling us back. And we need to get to a place where we can welcome back all those aspects of ourselves that we have kind of shunted to the side or pushed aside because they just didn't seem to fit, or they just weren't appreciated by those around us. Okay? And when you can think of yourself as like a young child, and this is inner child work as much as it is inner goddess work, because I feel like the inner goddess is that healed part of our inner child. So if you can heal your inner child, you can definitely wake up that inner goddess who's inside each of us and who has the ability to lead our lives in such a productive way. And so we want to find these aspects of ourselves that we didn't appreciate, we didn't like, we thought we didn't need, but we truly do. We truly do. And so I want to thank you for joining me today. We'll be back tomorrow with our final episode. Um, and I'm just trying to see if I can see if there were any comments on the side, which for some unknown reason, it is not really showing me. Um, and that's why I used to, and I'm just going to take a quick aside for a moment, do this through Zoom. For some reason, I can't do it anymore. Such as technology. But at any rate, I hope to see you tomorrow and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.